Welcome to Holy Spirit. Today's show is on Donald Trump getting shot. If this is your first time tuning in, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications so you can be notified of new content. Everyone's been watching the news, all right? And there's been a lot of folks who saying this is real, this is fake. And, I know there's CGI out there and all these types of things, all right? I looked at the video a few times. It, it looks like he got shot. The first shot went off, and he touched his ear. And when he looked at his hand, I guess when he saw the blood, that's when he went down. Okay. What I need you guys to do right now, most importantly, is to be safe. Okay. Put God first. Put your family first, and make sure you're safe. All right. And keep Donald Trump in your prayers. All right. Now, I'm not a full-on Donald Trump supporter. I support what needs to get done, and he's the one willing to do it. Okay, he's the one willing to do it, and I don't see anyone else in any position to get it done. Okay, but it's a dangerous task, and it's prophetic. And most pastors would tell you that it's prophetic. All right, and that I don't want to go too deep into it. I'll say that for later. I'm pausing out on it for a reason. But this stuff has been brewing for a while. I know with me, I've been under attack relentlessly. You've heard my story. I've been under attack relentlessly. And no matter how much I talk about it, somehow these folks who have relentlessly attacked me to pull me down still believe that they can complete their task that Satan put them on. I believe that what happened to Trump, the devil was behind. All right, I looked at the shooter, and he didn't look Christian. He's a Caucasian male, maybe mid 30s. He didn't look Christian. He didn't look like a believer. Okay, he didn't look like him. Looked like one. All right, but he fits the mo of someone that would be atheist or Satanist. Now I don't know his real religious background, but he fits the mo. Right, and we have been subjected to those who are hollowed out for darkness, and then those who work with darkness who are able to control people and manipulate people to do things like that. Okay, these are the authors of confusion, just like their father, the evil one, Satan. All right, and I've been having a bout with these folks. Okay, some folks are trained in being wicked and get paid for it. Okay, and some of them work for us. At least under this regime, I haven't seen anything like this in my life. And the president hasn't been shot at since Reagan. Not to my even Barack Obama wasn't shot at. Okay, but this is prophetic, and we are in those times. And I'm never going to tell you to put faith in man. I'm always going to tell you to put faith in God. But what I am going to tell you is that faith that you put in God, make sure that faith begins a walk, right? That becomes a jog, that becomes a run, right? Because we live in a nation that is morally decayed. Okay, we're they're weaker and wiser. Right? They have weaker morals. They have a weaker constitution. They um, their values are weak, and they believe that being wicked is cool. Okay, being a thief is cool, and but yet they're wiser. Having power or knowledge of spiritual power that us the righteous haven't even begin to tap into to be able to protect ourselves and protect other people by the Spirit. There's a lot of spiritual stuff going on right now that is manifesting in the spiritual stuff, and there's wicked people who are using demonic power to ruin people and to kill people. Okay, and what's sick about it is, you already know about my testimony. You already know about mine. I complained about it over the last few years. In fact, I complained about it, early on. Okay, the devil is hell bent on taking out God's people, especially his preachers and spiritual teachers and those who work for God's kingdom. He's hell bent on taking them out. And I have to keep reminding myself, because sometimes the spiritual attacks, have me wake up in the middle of the night to go pray. Sometimes it keeps me stir crazy. I have to go walk around. It's consistent, all right? Because the devil has put, isn't it? The devil has put hits on people, all right? And you can't say in the public it's the Antichrist army. You can't say in public it's the devil. I may have let it slip once or twice, but you can't say that in public. All right, I can say it here. It's the devil. It is folks who are involved in witchcraft, right? Who know advanced spirituality but don't know the Father, don't know God, don't want to know God, don't believe in God. Okay, and they're hell bent on taking this country. This country is the last free Christian nation, the biggest. I wouldn't say the last biggest. And this one supports a lot of smaller ones to help keep their freedom. Okay. Somewhere down the line, there's a lot of folks who have slid into our system. There's a lot of folks who have slid into our border. Right? There's a lot of folks who have gotten into places of power and position who don't love God, or who their God is money. Okay, and it's becoming dangerous. All right, now I've had to talk about this stuff repeatedly. All right, some of these folks have authority that they should not have. Some of these folks have clearances they should not have, and they abuse the system, they abuse the network, they abuse spirituality with one goal in mind: rob, steal, kill, and destroy. Now, I think part of the reason that may have happened, that what happened with Trump, is that they've been trying to push gun laws to disarm the nation, to make it an easier thing to put into communism. The other reason I think it happened is spiritual, which I mentioned, right? Because it is prophetic that there'll be a leader that will get shot. Okay, that's why you be careful with that. Put your faith in the God, not in the man. Okay. And the other reason is fear of being found out. of all the crimes that they've been committing over the last 4 to 8 years, 8 to 4 years, and some of them going to prison, and they're working on, and a lot of them are hiding and attacking people behind the scenes, hurting people in every way they can. Okay, so this is spiritual, and this is why the nation needs to pray more and more every day. And this is the key part. The main ones who are being attacked the hardest are the ones who are appointed by the Most High to do very important things. There's been ministers shot. There was one shot in the face. There was one stabbed in the eye. And some of it I think may have been act. Some of it. There's been ministers who've been shaken down. Ministers who were embarrassed, or they tried to embarrass him, like with T.D. Jakes, who was one of the best ministers out here. Okay. There's folks who have been, you know, um, blackballed or attempted to blackball them out of church for talking about things like homosexuality, for talking about things like abortion, for talking about subjects that a certain group thrives off of and gains power off of. Okay? Now, us as Christians, we're taught to respect people's free will because the Father respects people's free will. Because the Father says that hell is not a place that He has made for man, it is the decision to go there. Okay? And that we as good shepherds are to have the doors open for those who are seeking salvation, seeking change. Open to everyone. But those who are seeking salvation and change, our doors are always supposed to be open for. And we're always supposed to respect people like, that maybe living different lifestyles that don't fit with the law. You respect them as humans. All right? Those folks have been weaponized. I don't care how much they whine about it. I don't care how much they play about it. A lot of this stuff was blown way out of proportion. All right? Because I don't think any Christians are sitting around going, not living their life, going around looking to see who does what. Like they're going to run back to God and tell him God already knows. Okay? But I will say this. The moral decay in this nation, the children that are growing up in it, the acceptance of it from the adults, and the frauds that have been trying to assume the position of the teachers, they're not doing anything to help those folks. They're a curse on the nation. Okay? I don't care what position you've had in life. Okay? They're a curse on the nation. Do they all need to go in jail? Only the ones that are assaulting people, that are hunting people, trying to destroy people, the spiritual wolves. Only those. But we wouldn't have this conversation if they didn't have folks like the gentleman ready to shoot people. Folks wouldn't have to say, you know what? We got to get them in office to remove these types of people because they're abusing law. Okay? And this is something they picked. This is something they started. I know in my case, I know with Trump, they attacked a whole lot of men. There's a war on the patriarchy, on the church, on men. There's a war on righteous men. And that's because men produce the seed that destroys evil yoke, that breaks curses, that can stand up to the satanic kingdom. So there's been a silent war on men, silent war on the church, and those who the devil has labeled as targets. There's been spiritual price tags placed on our heads. The ones who are the strongest, to keep you bound, to keep you from talking, to keep you from saying your message. And they will try to make everything seem horrible because their job is to rob, steal, kill, and destroy. But when the devil puts a tag on you, they want to ruin you. They want to use the people around you to ruin you. They want to, take your work from you before, and get it out before you. They want to silence you. They want to make sure you broke. They want to make you a vagabond. They put using curses. They they want to make sure that you're not in position, because spiritual wolves, listen here, because the devil mimics God's people. And the devil can't put his people, Satan can't put his people in those positions to mislead everyone else, so he can maintain his power and influence. If you're there, right? And I have to tell myself this. I haven't been, but I'm going to go back to this. Being in a position for God, you become a lightning rod. For years, a minister will be preaching, and someone possessed will hop up and try to attack him. That's something that's commonplace. Yet we have people who don't believe in God. Okay, all right, and people have called me a sellout. People have called me, sellout to. They have tried to make me look like a sellout to the nation. I'm not. Have tried to make me look like a sellout to the African American community. I'm not. Have tried to make me look like a hater of people of different perspectives and different cultures. I'm not. My top priority, just like, okay, so all right, if your job is driving a bus, you're gonna focus on driving that bus and what rules and things that you have to do to drive the bus properly. Part of my job in life is to be a spiritual teacher and a leader. Okay, and I have to focus on the rules and things that I have to do. I'm not always perfect at it. That's the beautiful thing about church. You don't have to be perfect. You come in to learn to be perfected. Okay? But I'm going to tell you something. The country needs prayer. If God has called you to teach and preach, and this is how you know, if you're being faced with trial and tribulation over and over, and it keeps increasing, that means you got a hell of a calling on your life. It also means that you may be getting closer. Okay? And the devil going to send, he's not going to send demons. Satan's not going to send demons. He's going to send principalities and powers at you. All right, he's going to send the equivalent of what you would call the spiritual Navy SEALs. The Satanic Army Navy SEALs at you to end you, to push you into the direction you're not supposed to go, to get you to say things and do the things you're not supposed to do because you're under threat and duress. All right, and these things can't really be handled, in a courthouse. They have to be handled by the church. So I'm asking all members of the church to increase your prayers. The Lord is hearing you. Increase your prayers of protection for your pastors, for your leaders, for your country leaders. Okay? For your family, for your community. Increase your prayers for this country. And ask God to intervene. He is the great equalizer. Okay? He is the great equalizer. All right? And, I know how they're doing it. Go look at my old videos. I talk about it. They're playing cloak and dagger, so But they're going to attack you in the spirit until their time runs out, and they're going to have the power to wear you out. And I've been worn out, and I've made some gaps and made some mistakes. All in the interest of bringing this to an end so I can do my spiritual walk and take care of my other responsibilities as a leader. not just of the African American community, but as the community at large. Okay, so make sure you stay in prayer, stay cleansed. Okay, be safe out there, and know that you know not all people are your people. All right, so if you call to the cloth, try to stick with people who are interested in church. Not all ministers are really called there. High ranking people, I should say, entities can attach the ministers. Okay, a will and you have the spirit of the Jezebel. You ever heard the spirit of Jezebel in your church? You have the spirit of Ahab in your church. Be up there preaching because they know the word, or they don't fear it. Okay, so this is Holy Spirit. Keep me in your prayers. I'm going to ask you to, I'm going to pray for you consistently, pray for the country and everything. Pray for Donald Trump, make sure he's okay. Um, but don't lean on man, lean on God. All right, this is Holy Spirit. Until next time.